I'm really good at getting things done, and the team say that I've got my hand up the chicken's arse all the time because I'm pulling out the eggs before they hatch, which is why I've got, badass chicken on my back. Do you see that? I'm not quite sure whether you're going to see that.
I've just massively made a mistake, haven't I?
What?
Because I've just arranged for our new chief executive to travel back to Birmingham with you. And it's going to cost me hundreds of thousands of pounds, isn't it?
Just for the cameras and for everybody out there, because I know this is going to go live, I am not expensive, I am value.
Bianca's work ethic and speed of doing anything means that when I have somebody tell me that they can't do something, I automatically challenge it and ask them to quantify they wouldn't do it.
How would you advise a small team that are probably engineers, they don't have in-house marketing, they don't have a budget, how do they put a brand message out to the market?
Okay, so first of all,
This is Manufacturing Uncensored, brought to you by the PPMA Show 2026.
Today we're talking about marketing, everything from branding to strategy to growth. Okay, straight to it. Why are manufacturers so shit at marketing themselves?
why are they so bad? Okay, so they're really, really good. We work with a couple of. Shall I introduce myself?
Not yet.
No.
No?
No.
Okay, right.
We call the shots here today.
Oh, fair enough.
We call the shots here today. I understand this is going to be a very different experience for you.
This is a very different experience.
Yeah,
I'm
because
normally in the lead.
Yeah.
Right, so we work with quite a few manufacturers and B2B businesses, similar trends. So they tend to be really good at spending money and investing on research and development, building their machines, coming up with their operations. Marketing's always a last sort of end of the line thought. So by the time they get there, they've considered a small budget, and it's do the traditional thing, right? It's get into the trade shows, copy all the competitors, do the same as everybody else. So therefore, the brands all kind of look the same. There is no real standout. You've got ads that look the same, image of a machine with a bit of a headline on top, and we've done our job. We're out there. Problem with that is everything's looking the same. They're not where the audiences are. They're not thinking outside the box, and they're not really telling a story. So the problem for manufacturers in the industry is not that their products are shit. It's that their visibility, they're not getting the visibility, and it's such a saturated market with so much going out on there. So when you're only relying on one traditional channel, you're not where everyone is. So when people now looking on chat for all the answers, online for all the research, downloading all the reports that they can get from all sorts of channels. You're not on the forums, you're not visible, you're not on AI, you're not visible, you're not on socials, you're not visible. And if you are, you're just doing what everyone else is doing. So how are you different? You're not. So they're not getting any cut through, and they're not putting the investment to grow. Marketing is seen as an afterthought with one person sat there very often doing the basics, not very effectively, and not having the knowledge to grow. So they're seen as a marketing support function rather than a growth function. And that's kind of what needs to change.
Okay. Now it's time for an intro.
Okay.
So just explain who you are and what sort of gives you the credibility to be able to talk about marketing.
Okay. So I'm Bianca De Bono. I've been working in the industry for about 36 years plus. I know, I look really young.
It's only 10, but she lies. That's right. That's only 10, right? You know,
Super experienced.
yeah, she's actually the first person who lies about her age in the wrong direction to state experience.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, I mean, that's the gig here, right? I'm doing this for 36 years.
Yeah.
Have you? Okay. LinkedIn profile said you started in 2012. All right, that's fine.
Seriousness. You got me muddled now. I'm embarrassed.
That's the gig, right? That's the gig. Well, it's because the first time I ever said anything nice to you in 4 years.
Yeah, 36 years in the industry, but I've worked outside of manufacturing, worked in B2B, worked in automotive, but I've been on client side as well as agency side. And that's given me quite a bit of experience across multiple platforms as well. I ran my own business for 12 years in event management, actually. So when you're doing event management, you're doing everything, right? You're not just doing the marketing, you're doing the sales, you're doing setup, you're doing the operations, and you're bringing your brand experience together. And that's what brand should be all about. So I decided about 4 years ago to go solo. I'd already set up the business with an idea in mind, with an inspiration. I thought to myself, well, everyone's doing marketing, but we've got these set amount of people sat on desks coming to work with a specific capability. Clients are coming in, they're being sold to the seniors, getting the juniors. There's nothing wrong with the juniors, but they've not got the support or the expertise to actually get the results that they're paying for. And I thought there's a better way of doing this. I would like to do something that supports brands, in this case, manufacturers and B2B clients. I would like to support them to create those efficiencies, to meet those challenges around budget that we know we have a little budget, what we're going to do with it, right? To be cleverer, to think outside the box and be able to do those crazy ideas that at the time the agencies would not let me do. You know, just got shot down for, don't even suggest that. It's not going to make us the money. But at De Bono Marketing, we really do want the results.
Is that not the point of the agency? Is it not the point of the agency to come up with something outside the box?
It is, but when you've only got a set amount of capability within the agency and everything's changing, how much opportunity is there to really think outside the box when you've only got a certain amount of knowledge around something? So, I mean, let's look at the last 2 years, right? We've gone from search optimization to chat to this to that, and all of these algorithms changing, all of these rules changing. You've got data issues. It's no longer just marketing. It's becoming a bit of a science, and the clever people are those people that come in as a partner, like I said, a growth partnership or growth function that says, actually, your issue is this. This is where you want to get to, and this is how you're going to do it based on this talent that we're going to give you to get there, versus we've got this talent, we're going to have to use it. You need really this talent, but we've got this talent. So therefore, this talent is going to tell you what to do, when actually they're the wrong people to do it. And the beauty of working with De Bono Marketing and why it's working well with my clients is because it's very tailored to what you need with the right expertise. So let's say everything changes. We obviously work with Automate UK as well. So let's say everything changes in the marketplace and we need to go a completely different direction. Not a problem for me, unlike everyone else. We use a freelance network that says, actually, I want to choose you, you, and you, because this is what we need to do. And they come in and they can run it. 2 months later, things change. We can exchange that for a completely different team to do something completely different. And I think that's what marketing needs to do, because otherwise you're limited by what you know.
Marketing agencies have tended to fail in industrial automation, certainly in packaging machinery traditionally, because they never invested enough time in understanding the product, or they thought they knew best. And you'd have this situation that basically they would just take mainstream marketing and try and bend it to suit, I don't know, a filler capper. And it don't quite work, because you can't sell a filler capper or market a filler capper like it's an espresso coffee machine. So that's why marketing agencies, I think, for a long time were getting such a bad rap, is that you'd see somebody big like a Crohn's or, one of the big kind of multi-head checkway guys would get a marketing agency in, and actually they were getting a bad rap because they would turn out some very, very slick stuff, but they treat it like a mainstream product, and they treat it to B2C. And that world just never landed. So I think people had a lot of bad experience in the industry with marketeers and also marketing is a very different skill to engineering, and this industry is engineer led. And that's been something that you and I have worked on with the people we've worked on, right? I mean, we've changed the way that we work together the last 3-4 years, all jokes aside. You know what to actually back onto us. To begin with, you would take everything on, and the technicality stuff wouldn't hit the mark, right? So that's something we've had to work on. And
I'll challenge you on that. I think the reason why we work so well is because we can banter with each other in that way, right? So I think what doesn't work is that agencies are there to please, and they mean well. This is not me dissing to the world that agencies are shit. However, when working across the last 86 years, I can tell you very often that they bend down to almost everything that client says, because at the end of the day, if they displease the client, they don't walk away with the contract, which means that they're competing against so many other agencies. So give you the best deal. But we're not scared of losing clients to tell them what's the right thing to do. That's the value, because if I told James, right, yes sir, and I'm going to do what you told me to do, but I don't believe in it, and he doesn't get the results. No, you're not going to be happy, are you?
No, absolutely not.
I think that's where we're slightly more ballsy. We'll go in and say, you've got to change my language if it gets too bad. But
oh no,
right,
it gets much worse than this, doesn't it?
Okay, so yeah.
Don't see we get in trouble with Ofcom, but I've never heard you see, and I've pushed you to the limit a few times. So I've never. I
try to use flip instead of other words.
Okay. Don't see. We get in big trouble for C. Yeah. And we haven't worked out our bleep noise. Maybe you could help us with
that. I need to have a swear jar at home, actually, because, my partner uses lots of words like that. And I keep on trying to tell him, can't use that. That's bad, especially on a Sunday. Yeah. But anyway, so, and I think that's the value. I think you need someone honest who's going to tell you when something's not going to work. And the clients sometimes don't listen. But just like you guys know how to build machines, the science behind what we're doing is about getting you the results. And so I think that honesty factor and that relationship that we have with clients is as important as the actual methodology and our knowledge. So that's where sort of this whole De Bono marketing. De Bono, by the way, means from the good. So it was a double thing, but no one really gets it. But it was about being really good at what we do and bringing in all the expert and creme de la creme to make this work differently to all other agencies. And that's what we're trying to do and trying to build, trying to grow. What's
been the hardest part of the last 4 years?
Hardest part? Dealing with James. No, I'm joking. Hardest part.
No, you piss off, because obviously I was supposed to have gone by now.
Yeah.
But Peter decided to go and do policy director, which meant I had to come back and say, we don't need to care about the convoluted. I get lots of positive messages and caring messages off Bianca, but I don't tend to get ones yesterday. In fact, I noticed yesterday, right, that we had 2 conversations and about 30 WhatsApps about something we're doing here, yeah? And 3 times I pointed out it was my birthday. Didn't get a message about my birthday. You told me how nice it was that Sam had done this for my birthday, that and this birthday. No. It's like Bianca had filtered out that it being my birthday was of no use to the productivity of her day. So she just speed bumped over that. It was fantastic. When I came back, you actually said some nice things to me, and I know you said them. But however, we have also locked horns a few times.
Yeah, but
that's an important part of a relationship.
I must admit, I told Home that I was going to be on a podcast today, and he goes, "Oh God!" And I said, "What?" He goes, "Don't say the wrong thing, Bianca. Just don't say the wrong thing," because I genuinely, like James says, I've got this autistic streak about me that I just don't know how to read a room. So somebody will be telling me something, I'm like, "All right." Someone told me the day her mother fell down and tripped. And I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, anyway, so we need to do this."
It's Rachel.
Talk about not reading the room, and then days later, it's like, "Oh shit, I should have told her. I'm sorry about your mum." But I just, yeah, I'm terrible, but yeah.
Bianca's potentially doing some stuff with me elsewhere, right? And I put I put Bianca in a room with my South African business partner. It's just, you just sit back as they're both like, "Well, I don't care, on to the next thing, I don't care." And they both say, "How are you?" for gritted teeth. I'm like, right, let's get cracked on. It's fantastic. Which
is why I've got, badass chicken on my back, because, it's
God, you're going to have to turn around now, aren't you? Huh? You have to show the camera.
I do have to show the camera. Okay, right. So, do you see that? I'm not quite sure whether you're going to see that. So,
Dan's just gone to check. Can we see it? Yeah.
Great. So yeah, it's all about, getting stuff done and being as efficient with my time.
But I think you also need to explain badass chicken, because I didn't actually.
No, that's it. Podcast over. Now the next episode. That was quick. Well, now I'll tell you this one quick.
Because what's the phrase? The meaning behind it.
The meaning
I
behind
don't know why I'm asking
The
you.
meaning behind the badass chicken.
Yeah, there's a better word for meaning behind. But
So I'd like to ask James if he agrees with this, but one of the things that we're really good at is getting things done. And the reason why we're good at getting things done and in a really short time frame, so the launch for Automate UK is a good example, happened we were building the website within 3 to 4 months, and we had to deliver the website plus an entire launch and a rebrand by less than 8 months, I think it was. Yeah. And the reason why we're good at that is because I'm not very good at small talk, but I'm really good at getting things done. And the team say that I've got my hand up the chicken's arse all the time because I'm pulling out the eggs before they hatch.
This is Manufacturing Uncensored, brought to you by the PPMA Show 2026.
So that's why, they call me Badass Chicken. So yeah, so they put this on the top and given it to me as a present. So
yeah.
She looks like a very sophisticated Hell's Angel.
Do I?
Yeah, it does. It
very
looks
good.
Like. She looks like just turned up a Harley at Matlock Bath on a Sunday. That's your midlife crisis, right? You get the Harley.
This is not
Have
a
you got a
typical...
Harley? No?
No.
You could do that hoodie. You get a Harley, yeah.
No, really?
Yeah, you could go and get ridden a motorbike before.
No.
Yeah, I think the time's
I tried a
right.
scooter. You don't want to know what happened after that. But let's get back to the marketing thing, I
She
think.
doesn't do small talk, Jane.
She doesn't do small talk. That's what I do. Just
Talk
do
about
that.
bollocks. Come on.
Talk about marketing. Talk about this. Talk about I am fuck James's life. Talk about this. Talk about that. Come on, get on message. Yeah, that makes it. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. There's going to come a point in about 5 minutes' time where you and I are interviewed, right? Yeah. And then she'll see.
Nice change, isn't it?
And then she'll say the line I hear at the moment a lot of the time is, "Well, that's your opinion, but the insights that you commissioned says differently." So her latest thing is to noose me with my own data. I've seen that. It's quite clever. Yeah.
Oh, my face is hurting me.
Let's get into a segment then.
Right.
No small talk. Uncensored Headlines is one of our segments. James managed to talk that much in the episode before that we didn't actually get a chance to do that one, did we?
I had 7 coffees and a small breakfast.
Manufacturers continue to cite recruitment and skill shortages as one of their biggest challenges. But if nobody knows who they are, isn't recruitment fundamentally just a marketing problem?
Recruitment and fun. No, I don't believe it is.
No?
No. And the reason, if I've understood the question correctly, so what you're saying is...
All these manufacturers are moaning about not finding talent, but isn't it just because they're just crap at marketing themselves?
No, I'd say it's 2 ways, right? You tell me, do you believe that recruiting someone is just a communication problem, or do you think it's also attracting people through what you do as a business? So there is a communication, but there's also the processes that that lead to you getting the right talent, because you can communicate to everybody about who you are, but it's also attracting the right audiences through the communication and the relationships you have with the market, I'm going to say. So marketing is just part of the process in my head for everything that you do. As a good example, you launch a brand and want to talk about yourself and you want to market yourself to a new audience, being the future of the industry. There's other businesses out there doing it as well. So surely you want to talk to them about why they should be coming to you. That's a marketing problem. But how you actually then engage once you've communicated, that's a process problem. So, and are you engaging as a business with future talent outside of marketing? Because marketing is just a label and a communication, but what about everything behind it? That are you engaging them for them to actually know your brand and know the experience they're going to have when they come to you versus go somewhere else? Why do people want to work with, I'm making it up now, Coca-Cola versus go to Aldi? They're 2 different brands, completely 2 different products, or I'm going to call it products, but services, products. So it's all about getting them into the industry as well. And then it's about getting them once interested in the industry to your business specifically. So there's a whole array of different problems, not just marketing. But that's my opinion. I think it's a bigger job.
Oh, what was your point with that question?
Because I think it is marketing. I think it's, how are you going to attract talent if you can't show the market who you are and what you do? Because, you know, we talk about like skills gap all the time, and the primes get all the talent and they get hundreds of applications for a few open roles, but Joe Bloggs down the road gets nothing.
Yeah, well, I think
those hundreds of applicants don't know Joe Bloggs exists.
I think
So is it Joe Bloggs that's just crap at marketing themselves?
no, it's not. But there's two different strands there, right? The answer is you're both right, but you've got most of the people in manufacturing, most of the people in our sphere that Bianca works with, our members and similar businesses, they've got to sell products. That's a rate return. It has to be a rate return, right? So the marketing has to be sell more products and then generate it, okay? And in a very competitive market, the worst thing you can actually do is skills wash and greenwash as two things, because you lose sight of your product, okay? So the marketing of an engineering limited business or manufacturing limited business, I actually think has to be very product focused. The other thing is as well is you can make manufacturing is cool, right? I mean, the fact that however many kids we've got playing Minecraft, watching unboxing videos on YouTube, manufacturing is cool, right? The problem is the disconnect. The marketing that is missing is making the government realise how cool manufacturing is, because ultimately the recruitment of talent into manufacturing is a governmental position, and that is where there hasn't been a lot going on. And that is where we're trying to make a difference at the moment. And are we making a difference? We've done all right, haven't we? And we got Pete doing policy work, and you and I, we know we want to do more, right? But
a lot more to do.
There's a lot more to do.
What does that look like?
I think it looks like making sure that from a trade association point of view now, we've got the government giving us some early things back. So we have just won a tender with Cranfield University, which basically is Automate UK will be part of the government's robotic adoption education providers. So we've got to make sure that we market that and get more people doing that. So we're in a situation where we now need the Department for Business, I can't remember what they're called now because they change all the time in education. We need to make sure that they know that we are good at getting people to deliver. That's the phase we're in. So our first phase was just using the Automate rebrand to make a lot of noise about how good automation is and how good manufacturing is. That gave us some easy wins. We then plateaued a bit because it was almost too much. We sent people out to too many things. We focused that now with Peter doing policy work. What we've got to do now is we've got to so we've got the Cranfield thing, we've got to deliver on that. We've just won a thing to work with the Health and Safety Executive on basically machine legislation for safety, but there's actually a fuckload of marketing involved in that actually. And then the other thing we are doing, and I don't know whether we will be successful or not, is we are bidding to be the convening body for the robotic adoption hubs, and that is marketing. Right? That is basically speed dating somebody who wants to. So marketing, our marketing role as a trade association is with the government is actually us proving that we can deliver and get people through the doors. That's our next phase. Then when we do that, we can then attack. So basically the marketing work with the government, which is our responsibility, not the manufacturer's responsibility, is basically attack, deliver. And I don't know if you agree or disagree, next year is the deliver phase. We've attacked enough, we've now got to show that we're for real.
See, there is a big marketing part in this, but what I'm saying is there also needs to be the process and the operations within the companies to support whatever bringing these people in. So, you know, you've got to make it attractive and all this and show people, rather than going into gaming or marketing, which lots of people like to do, we're cool, is going into manufacturing is just as cool, and it's just a different angle are really smart people, if you ask me. So I find it really attractive and working with businesses like manufacturers, because it's just really smart stuff. So it just needs to be cool to the younger audiences, I guess, as well. But attracting them into the right roles, giving them the training that they need when they're in there, that keeps. It's one point attracting people into a business. It's another keeping them, and then making sure that you're giving them the job that's going to take them into the future and take your business into growth. And not just in manufacturing, marketing can be just as bad. You bring people into the business, they're gone after a month because it's just not what they wanted or expected, or we've missold them. So I think there's a marketing and there's a process that keeps them in that role to helping the business grow. So like I said, I still feel that there is two roles to play, and that either of them are not good enough at this point in time.
Marketing, if it's done right, builds cognitive capacity in a senior leadership team in any business, but a manufacturing business. So what I mean by that is you spend a lot of your spare time in between jobs is going, how do I generate leads? How do I generate leads? And that never ever changes. So, I mean, I'm in a situation where at Grunwald, we've almost got a full order book for a year. Now you go, that's great, but it actually flicks another thing is, how am I going to generate leads when all the competition's taken the spare capacity, right? So you never do it. And if I'm being honest with you, our marketing is nearly right. We're doing too much of, well, it's not the audit you said, was it? We're going to really test whether you can speak German in a couple of weeks, aren't we?
It's kein Problem.
Exactly. But if you go through a period of time where the leads are generated, it's not. I think if you're good at running a manufacturing business, a machinery business, or even moderately good about it, you understand there's two problems. There's the sales now, the pipeline, and there's making sure there's stuff coming through the pipeline. Now, if you have good marketing and you go through a purple patch where the marketing is generating leads, bearing in mind the data we had from probably actually PPMA days was that basically the Automate UK's members need 10 leads for one sale. That's pretty consistent. 10 leads, one sale, 10 leads, one sale.
That's still the case?
I think so. We ought to ask a question again, but I think anecdotally from some show feedback we got last year, I think that's the case. I think I'm at about 20 to 1, but it's a niche bit of kit, right? Plus our lead generation is the way it should be. If you get the lead generation, what it is if you have leads and you have sales, as a leader in a manufacturing business, you have the cognitive capacity to do the stuff that you desire to do. And very much on your second tier stuff would be to get better at career prospects in your role, in your business, and get better at finding talent, right? I know that when I've been very frank, both here and at Grunwald, where I have leads coming in, I have sales coming in, I relax and I start engaging with education more. So you've got to remember that marketing isn't just about the fundamentals, the dictionary definition of it. It actually, if marketing is going right for your manufacturing business, it builds cognitive capacity in your senior leadership team to do the other stuff they should be doing.
Which goes back to operational stuff.
Yeah.
But I would like to challenge two things that you said, if I can take over Tom's
Yeah,
position.
yeah.
We knew it was going to go here, didn't we?
Hey, do you like the name? Do you like Manufacturing Uncensored, or where's your branding?
I do like it, actually.
We love that one. You haven't come in to rebrand us today. That's what I was thinking.
You talk about, you mentioned that it's really important to do product marketing. I disagree. I'm going to challenge that one. And that's where all the manufacturers are going wrong. So
take pictures of a coil and post it online.
Yeah, but I take it one step further. So you think because you've got a product which works and which is smart and does all these different things, that you need to go into specifying everything to everyone on a camera, on a video, to say, this is how it works, da-da-da-da. That's not how people buy.
Yeah.
So the problem, and I've got it in my little notes over here, is where everyone's going wrong is they're saying, we've got a product, we've got to explain it to everybody. I absolutely love Volvo trucks. I've taken them as a great example because I've loved them for the last 10 years and they haven't changed. They're like one of the best brands out there, in my opinion, right? And same with Caterpillar. I'm going to take two brands that are sort of manufacturing B2B, right? But they're really two smart brands because what they're doing really well. Did you ever see the guy who does the split in the ad?
Yeah.
What does that have anything to do with their trucks, you'd think, right? But the precision of their trucks, whilst he was doing that stunt, right, demonstrated a couple of things about those trucks that everybody else wouldn't have considered, right?
Yeah.
They also have some ads where they've done a series of trucks. Was that Caterpillar of Volvo? No, it's Volvo. They did a series of their trucks where those trucks are doing stunts, right? To show the capability of what those trucks can do in certain environments. But they did it in a really clever way where these trucks were doing acrobatics, right? And you think, crikey, that's crazy. But what they're trying to do is demonstrate a story of how can we tell our story of what we're capable of in solving our customers' issues in a different way to what everyone else is doing. It's about storytelling, right? That's what kind of that's when marketing works. I mean, I can turn around to the younger people in this room right now and say, don't you agree? Like, would you look at a, piece of communication that tells you a story and keeps a memory going? So when you're thinking of, I'm going to get something, I need for my business a reliable truck to do this and this and this. You know what? I saw this ad the other day from that Volvo or Caterpillar did. You think they're on the top of your mind. You don't even need to get the latest email or be bombarded suddenly with 30 new emails from them or socials because you know them already. Now, what they've managed to do in the longer run, which is quite clever, different to everyone else, is tell a story, have a consistent brand that tells the same thing over again in different ways, that stays at the top of your mind where you think, you know what, those guys are cool. So as a younger audience, I'd be like, yeah, I really would like to work with them because they do cool things. Mm-hmm. As a company trying to buy their products, you think they're on the top of the mind and you know that they're reliable because they're known to be reliable. What is Volvo known for? Safety, right? And reliability. So you know that just because you've seen it so many times. And they're all doing something that a lot of us don't do. We think, okay, let's put a brochure out, let's do an email, let's do the social media thing and do it really cool in a funky way. It doesn't matter because if you have something consistent that goes out truly omni-channel, and explain this for the audience, there's a difference between multiple channel communications, which is I'll do a social today, then I'll do an email, but none of it's connected. Mm-hmm. It all tells a different story. Yeah. The messaging's a mess. We've got 5 different brand logos from our brand that don't look consistent, that don't necessarily identify with anything. I've completely confused my audience. That's what lots of manufacturers are doing versus let's get together. Let's have a simple one sort of strategy that we're going to do across all of our communications. And our communications are all going to tie together because social media, LinkedIn is going to do one job. Then we're going to do this, take the same thing, but do it somewhere different in a different way for email. Yeah. Then we're going to and it's all going to be succinct so that in my journey with that brand, they're going to take me on that trusted journey for the next 3 years, tell me, support me when I need. And marketing's one side, and the operational side, coming back to that, is do they have a website? Can I contact them to ask a question? Can I find information within 2 seconds on the website? How efficient are they to solving my problems when I have a product with them and I need it fixed? I won't mention any names because I'm not allowed to on this podcast, but my God, there's a couple of brands out there. I'm like, I'm never going to buy your product again because you are. So it's service and marketing need to match up together. The purchase process needs to work as promised in the marketing. So everything needs to work together. And that's what lots of brands are not doing. Also so that's where it's very inward versus outward towards who are our customers, where are they, what do they need from us, and how do we solve that issue? And if we can do that as a brand, that would be my biggest takeaway from this podcast. If you can start to think about how you bring a brand experience together, tell stories that are different and cool, but make sure it's aligning to your service, make sure it's aligning to what stories you're telling, and show people's faces. Who is behind this brand? Who am I buying from? Am I able to shake his hand? Am I able to go and see him? Is he able to consult me personally? It's not about just a piece of communication. It's about an experience that I love working with this brand. I love talking to them and I believe in them. And when you solve that, you'll be able to solve your issue with skill set as well, because people will automatically want to work with you. Yep.
The join up piece is bloody hard as well. I mean, what Bianca's just alluding to, and she's in marketing, so she'll put a higher percent than me. Everything she's just said, I would say here at Automate, bearing in mind that the finish line always moves, we're probably only 50, 60% of the way journey through, and you won't believe the blood, sweat, and tears we've had to that 50-60%, and how occasionally we've landed ourselves in between De Bono and Automate. We've landed ourselves in a cul-de-sac and had to get over the argument of whose fault it was and reverse out the cul-de-sac. It's very, very hard to, even if you just look at logos, let's make it simplified. We managed to, in 3 years, go off the brand guidelines 4 times with stuff that is our magazine, machinery update. It's completely off the brand guidelines. It's full of great content. It generates a good revenue. It's one of our top 4 revenues, and we all willingly allowed it to happen. So it is hard.
Yep.
But then again, when you do it to even 50%, the deliverable benefit is beyond huge. Nobody would have trusted the PPMA with some of the things that Automate are doing, and it's the same business. And that was just purely because PPMA was it was an acronym. So what the hell did it mean? I mean, you can go through that to the all day. But also the other thing is there was no join up, and the join up was so bad is that people just thought we did exhibitions. We weren't a trade association because we marketed the show, and every year we marketed the show differently. And the trade association element was kind of almost, you walked into a cupboard and going, oh shit, you're a trade association as well. So the join up is crucial. We're seeing that with Automate, but it's bloody hard.
Mm. Yeah, I got a couple of things, and neither of them challenge anything you said. I completely agree. How would you advise like a micro SME to go on that journey? They probably can't afford to go out to a marketing agency. They probably just throw in. I'm thinking of Peter actually, that was just sat there, and you took the piss because he posts selfies. But occasionally he'll post like a robot that he's got on the shop floor and stuff like that. How would you advise a small team that are probably engineers? They don't have in-house marketing. They don't have a budget. How do they put a brand message out to the market? Okay,
so first of all, I'd sit down as a team. Take about 3 days every 6 months of your time. Do a little workshop between each other, and I'm going to sort of spell this out, right? So the first thing you guys need to do is look at you as a brand. Do you understand what you stand for and what your difference is as a competing brand in the business? So position yourself. Then look at, and what I mean by that is it can be really simple. Like, what do we all know and agree as a team? Because we've been there. It's really difficult to get 5 people in a room and agree what you stand for. It's the simplest thing, but it's really difficult. Once you've all sort of agreed, right, forget about those pretty words, just try to agree on 3 good points what you stand for. Then the next thing would be, do we all understand who we are actually marketing what to? So if you've got like 3 or 4 products, where are those relevant to which audiences? Create yourself a really simple profile, right? Just this is easy to do on a whiteboard or papers on the wall. Have your sections. This is what we stand for. This is what we offer. Who do we actually offer it to? Once you've understood who you offer it to, for all I care, then start looking at market research, ChatGPT, start to break down where those audiences can be found. Because if you're just going at it without understanding what you're actually offering and to who you're offering it and why you're offering it, which is what you're positioning in the marketplace is, you're not going to get anything right. So you're just going to go at it and start sending emails. I think we need to start talking about this product. The reason why you're talking about the product at the level that you are is because you don't actually know what you're offering that's different to your competitors. But if you can really seriously say it, we are the more human company, or we are the company that is going to offer these things for these challenges to these audiences. Be more specific, and at least...
I think they're too scared to niche down too early. They don't want to like pigeonhole themselves too small.
I think it's less about just scared, because lots of brands are scared to do anything different. That's for sure, especially in manufacturing. But I think it's more they don't know. They don't know who their audiences are.
Yeah, I mean, Bianca probably wasn't there because of the nature of what she did before she set up. You know, she understood the methodology. you've definitely been there, I've definitely been there, is that when you start up and you're a micro SME or you start up your own thing, you're basically a Catherine wheel spinning, but the nail's only half in the fence. And quite often the nail comes out and then you're spinning in all directions and you think, right, I'm an engineering business, so suddenly I'm going to do this. You're an engineering business, you're going to do that. And we've all done it. I mean, you all thought you shouldn't beat yourself at what she's just said is she, so Bianca.
Call me crazy chicken.
Crazy chicken. I like calling you BDB. BDB works for me because that's her signature. But I mean, what Bianca says there's probably the most relevant thing we've had on this podcast since we had early on about ADHD. Right? Is that take what she's just said, write it down, get ChatGPT to transcribe it, right, and your business will be better. But don't beat yourself about it. That everybody, when they're growing their business, first of all thinks that it turns everybody into managers, realise they've got all chiefs, no Indians, and they reverse. I've done that 2-3 times. Also, people go on a tangent thinking that they either are worried that they need more business or they don't realise they think they can be entrepreneurs of everything. So they just become, in our world, they just become a general automation house rather than nailing down a position. And if you do what Bianca's saying, every 6 months, every 3 months, and it's not like you need to go and have a breakout session in a hotel. You just, as to say, you need a pack of Post-it notes and your phone on silent. Your business will, even if it doesn't actually do marketing, you'll see your net profitability go up.
Yeah, because it's what I actually do for myself. I mean, I just started my business, right? So, but from day one, I thought about who am I? Why am I different? There are so many agencies out there. Why are people going to choose me?
Yep.
And I just thought about, well, they're going to choose me because I know what the fuck I'm doing, you know? So I wanted to be smarter. I wanted to be outside the box thinking, but there'll be other people that want to be more human. There'll be other people that want to be, you know, the people that you go to that are more approachable. There'll be other people that do offer solutions that are very bespoke and others that are cheaper. So you have different angles. It's about which one do you feel more comfortable approaching your audiences with, and stick to it, you know, and choose maybe I'm going to call it cash cow, and choose a loss leader, which will be your marketing, you know. And so you've got 2 audiences to work with, one which is going to be the ambassadors that talk about you, and the other one is going to be, you know, the brand that you grow with, and then just keep on expanding based on that trust and get them to talk about you, you know. So it's about starting small, or just simply call me and do a free consultation with me. And when you get bigger, give me your business. So, but yeah, so I think it starts small. Understand who you are, look at your products, don't need to market every single one of them. Check, you know, think which one is going to help you get into the market faster with which audiences, and then grow from there. And then review that every
How would you advise them to go to market? Is it LinkedIn?
So if you're a smaller business, there's a number of ways of doing it. But the first foremost is get your website going. And I'd say it is worth looking at optimizing your website right now. It's all about, it's like I said, it's very rarely, sometimes it is a bad product, but really, very rarely is it a product issue.
Yep.
It's a visibility issue. And I keep on saying that. And the way that people are searching at this point in time today, it will change tomorrow and the year after. But right now, people are searching on, you know, online for their first, you know, the first piece of research. When they're exploring, they're searching online. If you're not available in those areas where your customers are, you're going to get lost. So you need something that's online, something that's going to connect you to your audiences in person, whether it's a demo, you know, invite people to your offices to demos if you can't afford to go to a trade fair or an exhibition.
They won't have that problem in our industry though, because our new double show coming September 2027 is very affordable.
There you
Can
go.
you repeat that at the camera?
No, we're sponsored by the 2026 one. We don't get that sponsorship till November if they sign it off.
This is Manufacturing Uncensored, brought to you by PPMA Show 2026.
Yeah, I think it is never one, don't ever rely just on one channel.
Yeah.
So you've got your LinkedIn, like I mentioned, omni-channel is really important. And I keep on saying that. It's a horrible, horrible word that everyone keeps on using, just like AI. Absolutely hate that, right? But it truly, it is really true, you know? So as part of understanding your audience, you then understand where to find them. So they'll be on LinkedIn for a certain reason. They'll be on your website for a different reason. They'll be on search for exploring what their options are. You can target them with you can try some small ad campaigns, Google, Microsoft, whatever it is. Test until you know what the data says. You don't know where to find them. You don't know what's working. So you're going to have to test little bits of marketing as an initial plan. And then you can say, Google Ads isn't working. Why isn't it working? Is it because the data of the content is not good, or is it because it's simply not my channel? And so you're going to have to do some testing. Data, I'd say data is number one. So I've got a bit of a list here that I will share with your audience just on some best practice of what works today. I do have a bit of a list here that I thought I'd bring with me so that people can follow some of these rules if they're not contacting me and asking me for help.
Well, we'll make sure in all the descriptions that your phone number's there.
Are we about to do a fact sheet like bloody Rest is Politics? Yeah, I mean, that's it. To add for the listeners' notes.
Can we share with Dan so we can
Does that
bring
mean
it up on screen?
does that mean we can do a Patreon service? Well, I earn £5 for every listener as long as I get Bianca's notes.
How long's the list?
It's actually, I've actually written it because it wasn't anything taken out. Right. So my first one is thought leadership.
Yeah.
So you want to position yourselves as knowledgeable in your space. So write up some themes. You can do some research on search to find out what people are typically searching for in your area, in your area of expertise. And then write up some blogs, write up some pieces of content that are going to convince people you know what you're talking about. Make sure they're factually correct, because ChatGPT doesn't always give you the truth. But make sure you put your twist on it. Don't just put it into ChatGPT and think that that's it. Your blogs is ready and you're going to send it out. Because by the way it works is that it's going to take pieces from the internet, put it together factually. You need to double check it. And it's potentially going to take pieces that exist elsewhere. So you want to make a really unique piece of leadership content. Number one, use leadership content. As part of leadership content, PR also works. Doesn't need to be more than 4 times a year if you're small, but just put pieces of content out there about who you are, your successes, your products, why you exist, and what's unique about you, and give them some pieces of news. It's a headline piece of news. It's not, here is a product, but by the way, has 3 inserts, 1 output. It's not technical. It needs to be a product. Case studies, great, piece of news. The next one is video. James loves a bit of video, don't you, James?
I love a bit of video. Not necessarily be on it for you, Elliot.
But video.
By the way, I still have a South African operations director who's absolutely panicking about that video we did of her.
Yes, well, she's going to be positively surprised.
Yeah.
Video. Video works really well. And everybody's looking for pieces of video. Why? Because it's easy to digest, and our attention span is just getting worse and worse and worse. So explain to people who you are. Tell them your story. Don't just tell them, stand by a product and say, by the way, so this is, forget about that.
Yep.
Just tell them the story about the product, why it exists, how it will help them in their challenges, and that they can contact you for a demo. Invite them to actually shake hands with you and talk to you. The next thing is people, personal brands, work. Right? Adverts, website, everything has a product on it, everything has a headline on it, everything's blue, which is why I like pink. But it doesn't work. You have to put a face and have someone speaking as an expert. Experts in front of cameras work.
Bianca, you branded us blue?
Yeah, but you've got purple, pink as well.
Predominantly blue.
Yeah, but that's a trust colour. But I'm saying just blue. Oh, stop challenging me. Right. So people, personal messages, people in front of cameras, different people in front of cameras, it works. So that's number 3. LinkedIn. It's the place to go for small businesses to get decision makers, demos run by experts, trust building over time. Don't expect to do a campaign within 6 weeks and expect suddenly your entire brand to change. It won't happen. And stay visible, search and all these other bits as well. But LinkedIn will give you that visibility as a channel. It won't necessarily bring you sales directly in the moment, but it will definitely build that brand for you. Mm-hmm. The other thing is customer proof. So reviews, case studies, and not necessarily just, you could have a statement, but it's it's having a multitude of different formats of customer proof and search engine optimization. I'm afraid no one's going to get away from that anymore, especially since everyone's putting in their questions into ChatGPT.
And AEO?
AEO.
AEO.
And GEO.
Which one? GEO?
We'll talk about it later.
Okay. Right, so is that what you're trying to flog me this afternoon? Okay.
It's search is changing. It's no longer just about search engine optimization. There's AI, there's geographic, there's local, there's this, depending on what you're trying to achieve. I
just realised you're about to sell. I've just massively made a mistake, haven't I?
What?
Because I've just arranged for our new chief executive to take to travel back to Birmingham with you, and it's going to cost me hundreds of thousands of pounds, isn't it?
It's not that expensive. Don't put that on camera.
Just for the cameras and for everybody out there, because I know this is going to go live. I am not expensive. I am value.
Oh, sorry.
I deliver value.
Ask me bullshit or backbone. De Bono. Expensive. Right, shall I say something nice?
Go on then.
And shall I say something that's also a bit thought leadership-y? Why you got your headphones on? Did I just laugh too hard?
Oh, sorry. I've lost it.
No, you still got it.
Where is it?
There.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Is it? It's okay. Do we editing that out?
No,
right.
It's the modern thing on podcasts. The producers have a mic these days and they pipe in and yeah. You can't talk.
Is he like who's the one that Jamie, isn't it? Oh, Jamie, bring that up.
The Rogan one.
Yeah, the Rogan, right.
Yeah,
Jamie,
now every guest refers to Jamie, doesn't they?
Jamie, bring that one up where the thing that guy says about dear testosterone making every last longer. Yeah, is that what we're going to start doing?
We can do if you want.
No, we don't.
Will, tell us about Gen Z.
Right. When we start, so forget about how good De Bono is or isn't. I will say some nice things about you. Right. We fundamentally, so I'm of a generation of director at this place that wanted to make the industry and its trade association more fit for purpose. And we did a few things, and then COVID happened. And then when David Barber, who's the predecessor to me, did a very good job of basically giving me a foundation to start, right? And we had to change the brand to make it more relevant. We had to very simplistically get the trumpet and blow it harder in every different direction, okay? So that meant that we then engaged with De Bono through us being aware of them, being aware of and the business, and that our members had been using Bianca in various different guises, okay? What I hadn't fully cottoned on is that the process that we went through with De Bono and on ourselves about the rebranding also was fundamental to what we needed to do with the actual structure and culture of the business and the industry. Put in simplistic terms, what does a marketing consultant and an administrator have in common? When they first arrive at your business, they do something akin to a SWOT analysis. A marketing agent to see how they can make things better. An administrator to decide whether you're salvageable or you're going to be shot in the car park, right? So it really it's true, right? You know, so
you carry on.
We had to go through. So the marketing process that we went through here 3 years ago actually meant that we were able to see structural gaps within the business. Even actually, this offices that we're here today that we've spent a lot of money is that, you know, how do we make the actual infrastructure fit for purpose 25 years and it's a nice place to be so that we can get better performance out of our people but not in like a Victorian kind of cotton mill type way. And how do we change the how we talk? And this podcast, whilst I consider it an utter farce, is part of that process in 2023 about how we talk. I'm joking. I'm surprised people watch. So the structure. So everything that Bianca's talking about, that you get two benefits. Benefit number one is you probably sell more stuff.
Yep.
Okay. Benefit number two is that you are match fitted, keeping your business match fit in every single way. And I would say that taking that kind of approach means that you can kind of see what kind of manager you need, what kind of job role you need, where your gaps are. Sadly, it's a to-do list that only gets longer. And the to-do list that Bianca and I are staring at with, we're launching, formally launching the double show in 3 weeks. And at the moment we've just nailed scripts. We think we got some logos.
There is another reason why they say I'm the crazy ass chicken, right? Again, I've got my hand up to that chicken's ass. So we will be absolutely fine, just to make James feel more comfortable, but it's true. But yeah, there is a lot to do. There's always a lot to do. And then this is aligned to, I have a bit of a manufacturing challenge for your audiences as well, but we'll go to that once. I'll let James finish his.
Yeah, she's setting a competition where if you do well, Bianca and De Bono, you can win a Peugeot 206.
If I had to choose a car, it wouldn't be that.
I don't know about Ford, you can on eBay, Bianca. I think I've just saved you money. No, so there's that bit. So fundamentally, the marketing process we've been through here, for every outward brick, there's an inward brick that's been fundamental to make it work, and it's a good way of health checking your business. And marketing is integral, and us as engineers are too product driven. I'm contradicting what I said. I think what I meant earlier is we are crap at how we sell stuff. Or there's 200 a minute, it's made out of that. But the other thing is there's too many engineering businesses that have just gone to generics. So if you look at engineering businesses outside of our world, you follow a transit van and it's got some word written behind it like Explorium or something like that. And what the fuck do they do? And you go on their website, you still don't know, right? So there's two positions. What Bianca's saying about character and product together is the right thing to do. But yeah, the fundamentals is that it adds structure and it adds focus to what you're doing. And that's, I think honestly what Bianca's gone through today, because Bianca always prepares.
I do prepare. Too much apparently.
Do you want me to be nice about you?
Yeah, go on then.
So make the trailer, come on.
To make the trailer. So the first time Bianca put me on camera after we did the Automate rebrand, she asked what she did this brown noser thing, even though I was paying for the bloody film crew about.
You weren't paying for anything.
Well, didn't I? Okay.
You still owed that invoice.
Yeah, that's right, that invoice.
You're both getting cheeky,
No, we don't owe her invoices because unlike you, she comes with bolt cutters and she'd have cut the bloody meter. We'd be in darkness when we owe Bianca anything. Oh, come on, that's true. And there's a good bit in that because as SMEs, the fact is you and I, one thing we are aligned on when you and I are scarily aligned, right? It's just I talk more bullshit than you. Is that you and I are not afraid to mention the price, and you and I are not afraid to ask for the PO order number, and you and I are not afraid to ask for an invoice to be paid. And that list is just as fundamental as the list that Bianca just read on how to run your business.
No, that's really important.
Yeah.
Cash flow is important, yeah.
Cash flow is important.
Process.
De Bono, so I said De Bono was the biggest headache in my life on video, and she posted it on her LinkedIn.
I loved
it. Bianca's work ethic is just incredible. Absolutely. Some of the stuff we've done, and you need varying characters around you if you're to be successful, and you do need a few people to say, calm the F down or you're going to burn out. And I'm conscious of that right now. I'm like, as I said to you previous podcasts, I've got a lot going on, both businesses. Bianca and I got going on, and all I'm daydreaming about is being asleep in a motor racing circuit on Saturday, right? There's no strategy in my body at all. So you do need the people to say, remember your lifestyle. You also need the people who push the fuck out of you at the same time if you're to be successful. And good old BDB over there is very good at pushing the fuck out of me. So last night, as I'm looking at Yugoslavian cars on eBay, thinking I'd worked really hard even though it was my birthday, which she still doesn't acknowledge, I'm getting her pinging me because I haven't read an email that she sent me 5 minutes before. And Bianca's work ethic and speed of doing anything means that when I have somebody tell me that they can't do something, I automatically challenge it and ask them to quantify they wouldn't do it. So honestly, that would be a fundamental thing that Bianca's reinforced in me.
I feel like I have to say happy birthday to you.
No, don't do it now.
Phil, you have to!
It's too late. Just don't.
I will sing for you later.
Adfield sent me champagne.
I'm conscious of time.
Do you want me to just mention that marketing challenge to your audience?
Yes, let's do it now.
What's written Peugeot 206?
Think about this. All manufacturers out there, think about this, yeah? So you never most probably question the 500k that you need to invest in machinery. You most probably don't, it might hurt, but you will not challenge the 1 million in factory improvements. You will not most probably question the 300k plus that you need to put into research and development. But because marketing is less tangible, you will question marketing and the investment you're putting in. But your problem, like I said, is not product. It's going to be your visibility. It's going to be your ability to talk about who you are, what you do, how you differ, and why you should be trusted. And if you can cross those 4 points, marketing will solve that. And that's where your investment is. And when you start having people understand why they should be approaching you and why they should be thinking about you, that's why you'll be paying that bill. And, marketing doesn't need to cost 300k, which I'm taking the lowest of those.
Well, lowest thing you've quoted in the last year.
Right. So there is a couple of things that you need to think about. I'm trying to make this valuable.
Swoop that one.
I'm trying to make this valuable to your audiences because it's something that I would like to know about if I was them, right? What should I be looking out for? So a couple of things. I'm sorry, I'm reading from my notes, but this is really valuable. It would be very valuable. So first of all, lead with the problems, not the products. What are you solving? That's number one. Customers are searching for solutions. How are you answering those questions? Don't lead with the product because the product is something you're selling. The challenge and the problem is something you're solving. Therefore, you automatically sell when you solve, right? Solve the problem. Number two, build trust before inquiries. So it's about everyone comes to me and talks about, I want conversions, I want leads. That's not the question you should be asking. It's why aren't I getting conversions and leads? And you're not getting conversions and leads because the awareness you're building is linked to the consideration that people are thinking about you in approaching you and getting those inquiries, which are linking to your conversions. If your conversions are not working, it's because the first 2 parts of that journey are not working. So you need to consider your entire journey and think, what content am I going to create that attraction? What content am I going to create and relationships am I going to build to create that consideration, right? The reason why we get on so well is because I pick up the phone to you, I talk to you, right? And I say, I see these problems. What do you think? Should we not do this rather than this? And we have that conversation. James will say bad idea or good idea, mostly good idea. And then we can crack on. So, and I think that relationship is building is really important. Next thing is think like a media company. What could you be putting out there to make yourself be the expert in the industry? Forget about trying to convince people that you know what you're doing. Just tell people what you're doing that you know is really good, like what I'm doing right now to your audiences. So that everyone will think I'm the expert, which I am. Then invest in visibility, LinkedIn, search engines, video content, AI-powered search, all of these channels create that discovery that people will see you, build that awareness automatically. And it's the harder you try, the less real it looks. The less you try and the more you just do, people will just come to you automatically. So be the Volvo, be the Caterpillar, do really well, tell that story. And last but not least, measure everything you do because the data that you are collecting from all the activity that you're doing will tell you, do that, don't do that. Those are my 5 points for challenge yourself to think about marketing as an investment, not a cost. And then follow those 5 rules and you'll start to improve no matter how big or small you are. Is that helpful?
Nice. Yeah, very, very good.
There endeth the podcast, our most educational podcast.
No, I don't want to end it there
Why is that?
because we haven't done bullshit or backbone.
Oh no,
I
what's
think
this?
Bianca would be great at bullshit or backbone, though.
I can't do small talk. Don't forget.
Okay, we've got 5 minutes.
All right.
Let's do bullshit or backbone.
Okay, come on then.
Yeah. So you can't give us the answer until you decide it's bullshit or backbone. Right?
Okay.
Marketing agencies are a waste of money.
What do I have to say? Like,
Bullshit or backbone.
I can't say. I've got to say one or the other.
You gotta say one or the other before you can explain yourself.
Say the question again.
Marketing agencies are a waste of money.
Some backbone to that. Backbone is like truth.
Backbone, yep. So they are a waste of money.
Sometimes.
Which part of it is the waste of money?
I can't do small talk. This is brilliant. This is the best ever. This is quick. No. Let's do this. Let's keep it going. Keep it going. Don't let it develop. Let's just keep this going.
Okay, all right. Marketing budgets get cut because marketing teams fail to prove ROI.
Backbone.
Marketing strategies are built around what the leadership team likes and not what the customers need.
Backbone.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's the reason why Automate UK is not shit, is because we use data rather than leadership.
And you used to better marketing.
And use the phone at marketing.
I've got so many things. How long we got? 3 minutes.
Can't continue. This is quite fun, actually.
Keep the
No,
bullshit
I've got
on
loads of.
that
I haven't got any more of them, but I've got loads of quick fires.
Go on then.
Best marketing campaign you've ever seen?
Best marketing campaign I've ever
Well, I've
seen.
already touched on that, Volvo. But
Now, can I go outside of Volvo?
yeah, of course you can.
So this is an end user example, right? So you know moons.
Yeah.
You know those little
Yeah.
ball. I love them, right? They went crazy on socials, and they were creating this totally different sort of product campaign with all these colors and building these balls together. They got to their audiences on TikTok to be sharing when they actually buy a product and what do you call it? Following it on I think it was TikTok. So that went really well. And Ted Baker, outside the box, right? They created an experience which looked like Barbie World online. Obviously, Ted Baker's now bust, but anyway, which sort of goes against what why I think this is so great. But they actually had this experience online where you could click on this Barbie world of people, and you could actually choose what you wanted from what they were wearing or what was in the household. I thought it was so cool. I thought to myself, yes, someone who does something different. So I thought that was nice.
Worst marketing trend?
AI. Everyone disagrees with me, but I'm just sick and tired of everyone relying on AI for everything. It's almost like we're becoming, sorry to say this, we're becoming bloody stupid.
Yeah,
we
we're
can't
dumbing
think for
ourselves
ourselves.
down. Yeah.
And everyone believes everything. It's like, guys, can we stop? Can we stop letting students use AI to do that? Get them to think so that when they leave university, they've actually got a brain.
Or use it as a tool for them to think. So Bianca and I had a conversation about this earlier in the year. And like AI should release this, well, wherever, let's call it this country, right? Should release this country to be creative because it's going to do the mundane. And we're using AI to be creative and then do marketing campaigns which have clearly got too long a hyphens.
I have a joke. It's a really bad joke, by the way. I'm really terrible at jokes because my social skills are shit.
It's a great start to a joke.
Right.
Go on then.
So do you know when we started as people, right? We all started like this, right? We were apes. Then we stood up this way, right? In the future, what we're going to be like? It's a joke.
You're right. You are so correct. You're terrible at jokes.
It's why she gets on so well with German businesses. So the money, but we'll just pay by one.
I'm sorry, that was terrible.
The AI thing is right? Because AI, look, I mean, I think AI, from a creativity point of view, has a point of view. Look, I mean, I wish I'd had AI younger in life, because as a very dyslexic, disorganised man, I use it as a glorified dictaphone, and it gets the batshit content at my head on paper. So that is brilliant, right? But there's too many people who are saying, I need an advert of this, and then show a video of somebody using a robot saying, try an automation, and the robot's floating in the air, and the person's got 6 figures, and all the text has got the long hyphen on it because they haven't even edited ChatGPT.
I guess where my frustration is that I feel like the human race is incredibly smart. Just to prove my point, engineering is a really interesting area. Now imagine all of that intelligence stopped because we didn't have the ability to think for ourselves anymore. The fact that we believe everything that's told to us. So I just hope that we continue to have our original thinking, to not stop challenging ourselves or relying on AI to tell us what's right and wrong. I would like us to continue, the creatives out there and the people that are smart, to continue to be smart. I guess that's where I'm coming from. And I encourage everyone, from a marketing perspective at least, and from an engineering point of view, because there's benefits to AI. I just don't think we should be relying on it as strongly as we do. That's what I'm saying.
3 questions left.
She's got a Teams meeting in 30 seconds.
30 seconds? Oh, this is super quick fire. One thing every manufacturer should stop doing tomorrow. Using AI, probably.
No, I think there are benefits for manufacturers as such, like smart factories and stuff like this. One thing that they should stop doing, treating marketing like a cost and looking at it as an investment, according to some of the things I spoke about today.
One thing every manufacturer should start doing tomorrow.
Kind of answered that question already, but they should start thinking when they need help. Contact Bono Marketing will be in touch with you and we'll help you.
This is the very last segment of every podcast. Say the quiet part out loud. What's the thing manufacturing leaders don't want to hear about marketing but need to?
Send me the invoice.
Thank you very much.
CTV!
That'll do us.
That'll do us.